If you ask 10 people what the best heart-healthy diet is, you'll probably get 10 different answers. Someone will say, you need to cut out all carbs, go keto or carnivore. Another will say, no, you have to stop eating meat and go vegan. Then there's the Mediterranean, DASH, paleo, and the list goes on. And when you hear all that, it's no wonder people feel lost. Who's actually right? My name is Alex, and I've been helping people through traditional and alternative medicine for over 13 years. And after working with thousands of patients, I've realized something really important. Prescribing a diet is easy, but living with it is the hard part. See, many people can't stick to an extremely strict eating plan for long. Not because they lack willpower, but because life doesn't work like that. We all have holidays, birthdays, stress, travel, work, and nobody can live in a food laboratory forever. So here's the truth. A diet that's 70% perfect but sustainable for life is way better than one that's 100% perfect but lasts only 6 months. That's the mindset shift I want you to make today. Because our goal isn't to chase the next perfect diet. The real goal is to understand which foods consistently show up in research as the most effective for protecting your heart, and then make them part of your routine, whatever your routine looks like. And before we get to those foods, it's essential to understand one thing: how plaque actually forms inside your arteries. Because once you understand that, you'll know exactly why certain foods work so well. Atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque inside arteries, is not just about high cholesterol. It's not just about high blood pressure. It's not even just about sugar. It's a perfect storm of several things happening together. Damage to the inner lining of your blood vessels called the endothelium. LDL particles, the so-called bad cholesterol that carries a protein called ApoB, slipping through that damaged lining. Inflammation and oxidation making those particles sticky and dangerous. And finally, your immune system trying to fix the problem but accidentally making it worse, causing the plaque to grow bigger. So, plaque formation is not a single factor issue. It's a chain reaction involving oxidative stress, inflammation, LDL, and immune overreaction. That means, if you want to stop or even reverse atherosclerosis, you need to focus on foods that target all of those mechanisms. They lower ApoB, reduce inflammation, improve nitric oxide, and protect your endothelium. And when we look across major studies and meta-analyses, some clear patterns start to appear. Certain foods keep showing up again and again. Let's start with the first one. One of the strongest recurring findings in heart health research is lycopene. Lycopene is a carotenoid, a natural antioxidant found in red and pink fruits and vegetables, tomatoes, watermelon, guava, pink grapefruit, and papaya. Why is it so powerful? Because one of the biggest drivers of plaque formation is oxidative stress, the damage caused by reactive oxygen species. Lycopene helps neutralize that stress. It literally scavenges those free radicals that damage your cells and blood vessels. Several studies show that people with higher blood levels of carotenoids have slower early-stage progression of atherosclerosis. And one large Finnish observational study found that greater intake of tomatoes or processed tomato products was linked to less plaque buildup in the carotid arteries. So, something as simple as eating tomato-based meals a few times a week can genuinely support your vascular health. Next up, phytosterols. Plant compounds that look almost identical to cholesterol molecules. You'll find them in nuts and seeds, especially flax and sesame, legumes, whole grains, avocados, broccoli, and carrots. Here's how they work. When you eat foods rich in phytosterols, they compete with cholesterol for absorption in your intestines. As a result, less dietary cholesterol makes it into your bloodstream. But that's only half the story. Your liver actually produces most of your cholesterol. When your liver senses that less cholesterol is being absorbed, it tries to compensate by pulling more LDL out of your blood. Over time, that means fewer LDL particles and fewer ApoB carriers circulating through your arteries, and therefore, a lower risk of plaque buildup. Meta-analyses show that phytosterols can reduce LDL levels by around 14 milligrams per deciliter on average, which is a solid improvement without any medication. Now, let's talk about another powerful group of nutrients, flavonoids. Flavonoids are natural compounds found in almost all plants, but you'll get the highest amounts from berries, apples, citrus fruits, onions, leafy greens, and yes, even dark chocolate. These little molecules have a big impact on your arteries. Here's what happens inside your body. When plaque begins to form, LDL particles get trapped inside your artery walls. They become oxidized, which triggers inflammation. Proteins called adhesion molecules then make the artery walls sticky, so white blood cells start attaching there, trying to clean things up. But instead of fixing the problem, they cause even more inflammation. And that's where flavonoids come in. They help reduce the expression of those adhesion molecules. In other words, they make your arteries less sticky. That means fewer cells attach to the arterial walls, less inflammation occurs, and plaques have a harder time growing. Flavonoids also help immune cells called macrophages stay calm, so they don't turn LDL into its damaged, oxidized form. Over time, that means cleaner, more flexible arteries and a lower risk of blockages. There's one specific type of flavonoid that deserves its own spotlight: catechins, which are abundant in green and black tea. And here's where the research gets really interesting. A meta-analysis that reviewed 9 prospective studies found that people who drank 3 or more cups of green or black tea a day had a 21% lower risk of stroke compared to those who drank less than 1 cup per day. That's huge. Something as simple as your daily cup of tea can significantly lower inflammation, support your blood vessels, and improve blood flow to the brain and heart. So if you already enjoy tea, keep going. And if you don't, maybe this is the simplest habit to start. Next, let's talk about extra virgin olive oil, what I like to call liquid gold for your cardiovascular system. This oil keeps appearing in study after study, especially in the context of the Mediterranean diet. And no, it's not just hype, it's science. High-quality olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats and polyphenols, both of which are anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. Regular use of olive oil helps calm down inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and protect the endothelial lining of your arteries. Essentially, it helps your blood vessels stay smooth and resilient. People who consume olive oil frequently show significantly lower rates of major cardiovascular events like heart attacks. So, whenever you can, replace refined oils with real extra virgin olive oil, especially when cooking or dressing your meals. Now let's move on to another major player: omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish. Fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring are loaded with 2 powerful omega-3s, EPA and DHA. These fatty acids are like peacekeepers inside your blood vessels. They help reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, and improve how your arteries respond to blood flow. Large clinical studies show that people who eat fatty fish 1 to 3 times a week have a significantly lower risk of heart disease and stroke. One of the biggest and longest-running studies, the multi-ethnic study of atherosclerosis, found that higher DHA levels were associated with a 12% lower risk of plaque progression in the carotid arteries, the ones that supply your brain. Omega-3s also boost nitric oxide production, which helps your blood vessels relax, and they stabilize plaques, making them less likely to rupture and cause clots or blockages. So yes, adding fatty fish to your diet a few times a week is one of the most effective ways to protect your arteries naturally. When you put all these together, lycopene, phytosterols, flavonoids, olive oil, and omega-3s, you get a combination that targets every major cause of plaque buildup: oxidation, inflammation, endothelial damage, and LDL overload. But remember, adding good foods is just half the story. To truly heal your heart, you also have to cut back on the foods that quietly damage it, the ones that pretend to be healthy but aren't. And after that, We'll talk about non-food habits that can actually reverse atherosclerosis, like exercise, garlic, and even sauna use. Now that you know which foods actually help clean and protect your arteries, it's time to talk about the other side of the equation, the foods and habits that quietly damage your heart or undo your progress. And the truth is, many of them are cleverly marketed as healthy. Let's start with processed carbohydrates, probably the #1 hidden danger for your arteries. I know this isn't new, but it still surprises me how many people fall for fitness marketing. For example, flavored yogurts. The label might say heart healthy, low fat, or enriched with vitamins, but inside? Often 20 to 30 grams of added sugar per serving. And that sugar drives inflammation, the exact opposite of what your heart needs. So, if you like yogurt, go for plain, full-fat versions and sweeten it yourself with a bit of honey, berries, or stevia. Next, the so-called healthy breakfast foods: granola, energy bars, and cereal. Most of them are just desserts in disguise. They might be packed with oats or nuts, but then drowned in syrups, sweeteners, or natural sugar. Here's my rule. If sugar, syrup, or fructose is listed among the first ingredients, it's not a heart-healthy food, no matter how organic the packaging looks. And then there's juice, another sneaky one. Even if the bottle says no added sugar, that doesn't mean it's good for your heart. The problem is that juice is extremely concentrated in natural sugars, but it's missing the fiber that would normally slow sugar absorption. So when you drink juice, whether it's orange, apple, or even fresh pressed, you're basically sending a large dose of sugar straight into your bloodstream. And that spikes insulin, increases inflammation, and sets the stage for vascular damage. Whole fruits? Absolutely. They're fantastic. Juices? Not so much. Now let's shift gears. Because while nutrition is the foundation, there are other things that can speed up the healing process and help reverse plaque buildup even faster. Exercise is a must for heart health. We all know that. But there's one specific type of exercise that's actually been shown to reduce plaque volume inside arteries. It's called high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. A randomized controlled study published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found that just 6 months of supervised HIIT led to a significant reduction in arterial plaque volume. And here's the wild part. The results were slightly better than what they saw with statin therapy. Now, that doesn't mean exercise replaces medication, but it shows how powerful your body's natural repair systems can be when you move with intensity and consistency. So, if your doctor says it's safe for you, try to include some form of HIIT, even short bursts of effort, a few times per week. Next up, aged garlic extract. It might sound simple, but this is one of the few supplements that has real scientific evidence behind it. In one double-blind, randomized controlled trial, participants who took aged garlic extract for 1 year had slower progression of arterial calcification and better blood pressure control. Another study showed that it can actually stabilize vulnerable plaques, making them less likely to rupture, which is exactly what causes heart attacks. So yes, garlic isn't just old-school wisdom. It's a clinically proven heart protector. And here's something most people never think about: sauna use. No, we don't have direct proof that saunas make plaques disappear, but we do have a lot of indirect evidence. Studies show that regular sauna bathing improves endothelial function, lowers blood pressure, and is associated with a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease and overall mortality. So, if you have access to a sauna, use it as a relaxation and recovery tool. It's simple, it feels great, and it genuinely supports your heart and circulation. So let's put everything together. If you want to protect and even rejuvenate your heart, you don't need a perfect diet. You just need to focus on the things that consistently work. Add these foods: red and pink fruits with lycopene, tomatoes, watermelon, papaya. Nuts, seeds, and whole grains rich in phytosterols. Fruits, tea, and dark chocolate for flavonoids. Extra virgin olive oil for healthy fats. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, for omega-3s. Limit these. Sugary yogurts and cereal bars. Processed breakfast foods. Fruit juices and sweetened drinks. And don't forget, HIIT workouts to activate natural vessel repair. Aged garlic extract for plaque stability. Sauna sessions for better circulation and relaxation. And here's my final message to you. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start with one positive change at a time. Replace one meal, one ingredient, or one habit. Over the next few months, those small steps will stack up. Your arteries will get stronger, your inflammation will drop, and your energy and focus will improve too. Your heart is built to heal. You just have to give it the right conditions to do what it already knows how to do. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex, and I've spent over 13 years helping people improve their health through both traditional and alternative approaches. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, share it with someone who needs it, and take care of your heart.